Hello and welcome back to the 2021 Las Vegas Challenge. You are watching round one back nine coverage of the Disc Golf Pro Tour on JomezPro, and you are joined by BigSexyBarri, commentary Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
The first stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour is off to a hot start with several players shooting 7 under on the front 9. This card not too far behind with Garrett, Gurthie, and James Conrad shooting 5 under. Kevin Jones and myself, 3 under and 4 under, right there in the mix. But as you can see, those are the guys that are leading the pack right there. Ezra Adderhold, Ricky Wysocki, McMahon, and Macbeth. Common names to see at the top of the leaderboard this year for sure. Ezra Adderhold, certainly a young player. We're all looking forward to watching him play this season.
Starting off with hole 10, par 3, 381 feet. Very treacherous hole because you see this bunker in front of the green plays as a hazard with penalty, so you really have to make a decision. Are you going to play short? Are you going to play out to the right? Or are you going to get aggressive and try to either fly the bunker or skip through it to give yourself a birdie look?
Garrett not wasting any time with that Firebird, trying to throw a hard shot, and look at that.
Oh, it's ramped out.
The reward.
Wow, what a play.
Lucky ducky right there.
Power does good things for you, though.
As he said, Avery Jenkins said, that's what power will get you.
That really looks nice, Jerm. Really does.
Come on.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, what a nice break.
That's why it wasn't 80 feet past. Okay.
I'll repeat my last statement.
You know, it's like I don't know what else to really do on this one. You know, I feel like that's about as good as you can. I want to just hit the front of that hillside and just get the disc to stop, but that's not what happens here at Las Vegas.
I don't know about this one.
Well, Kevin liked Garrett's play, and,
Yes.
Wow.
and it fell back down.
Whoa.
Trying to throw the low blitz shot to just scoot it out of the bunker. Not quite getting away with it. Unfortunate break as it just spun its way back into the bunker.
I don't think it's an unfortunate break. I think that's what you're supposed to do. When you throw it in the bunker,
Yeah.
it should just be bunker.
Well,
This
how
is
are
the
you?
safer play?
How would you attack this hole, Paul?
Well, I would try to throw it around the bunker and then take a par.
I like the idea.
Did James just throw it 450
He
feet?
did. He did. We couldn't believe how far it was down the fairway when we got up
Oh,
there.
yeah. Yeah.
I definitely think that this back nine was playing a bit more challenging than the front as far as scoring. A lot of people getting off to a fast start, and then on the back nine, it seemed like a lot of people slowed down, even though I feel like the back holes are a bit easier when it's calm.
I think the back nine just has a lot of, wow, James was way back there.
Good shot,
It has a
too.
lot of like 380 plus, 380 to 450 par threes, and those are just tricky things to pick up.
Jerm.
What a putt, Jerm.
Yeah.
Straight towards the sand.
That was a very scary headwind putt from 30 feet. I mean, any miss, I don't care how soft you putt that is going straight in the bunker. I was really pleased to see that one hit. And so is Garrett. Just drawing metal there stops that from being a instant 4. Now Kevin needs to make this shot from the bunker, and that's kind of the risk you take as you play that shot to try to skip it into the bunker. If you get out, great, you got a birdie. If you don't, then you have to make this putt as the hazard rule is in effect.
Such a hard putt, putting uphill in the sand. Your footing isn't
Yep.
great down there. And
That's
then
terrible.
right to left crosswind easily lifts it, and then all of a sudden you're staring double bogey right in the eye.
Nice save.
And James has got a short putt for a nice save as well. I mean, that Heath had outdrove the hole by so much. He actually had trees in the way on his approach, and you know, not only that, he has to concern himself with the green or with the bunker behind the basket. I mean, a lot of things to contend with on that approach, and he made that look really good.
I didn't realize I threw mine 120 feet long.
What's that?
I didn't realize mine was going to
Dude,
be...
I didn't either. That was
before you
crazy
run.
when we got up here.
On to hole 11, another long par 3. This one 430 feet. Out of bounds fence line down the left side and out of bounds pond area on the right. Best play here is a hard thrown low backhand that's going to take a couple skips under these trees and hopefully find the green. You have to be really careful of an early release though, because you can skip past that fence, no problem.
How's that?
Really wide, really flat.
Yeah, that needed to be a lot more angly.
Whoops.
Well, you're in bounds.
Inbounds, yeah. The Thunderbird was not the disc choice. I think a high-speed driver, with a wide rim driver with some angles to play, as you're going to see Garrett play that long scoot play here. And look at this thing move.
Nice.
And get the wind roll
Thank you.
all the way to about 28 feet.
Looks like a little trickster though in there.
Yeah, a little tricky backdoor action. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Run.
Zip. That a baby. I like that one
This
too.
thing running as well.
Cool.
Boom. Right there on
Sweet.
top.
Almost
of me.
identical. James liked that too. He's going to try something similar.
Wow, that's overstable. He got that flat early, but really a nice
Nice,
finish.
James.
And look at this thing
Yeah.
just get that late roll. I mean, just incredible
Turn the circle.
use of the wind and the ground play to just
Yeah.
trust
Kinda
that thing to
just
get that
got
late
G
curl.
G and Kev, but
Kind of one of those plays where you wish you didn't go first so you could get that nice wind read.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You don't want to be there.
Man.
good effort.
Yeah.
Completely blind.
What a cool putt that would have been.
Yeah.
Birdie.
Yeah, a little trickster.
A great putt. Nice left to right crosswind. And Kevin, this is like the third time that Kevin has taken Garrett's line and said, you know what, I like that. I'm going to try that too. He's really been influenced by seeing Garrett throw first, and some of the things that he didn't try and practice, he just immediately changes his game plan right there on the spot because he has the talent to do that.
See, and I get influenced by Garrett all the time, but it never makes me, or I get impressed at least. It never makes me change anything because
Because you don't have the talent to do it.
I don't. I simply and truly don't.
It's kind of nice though because then you don't get influenced at all, and then you're just a spectator at that point. You're like, "Wow, great job!"
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I'm a huge fan of yours.
Yeah.
You missed it there. I was just telling the group that they're all welcome for the wind read. How not to play the hole is just as important as to know how to play the hole.
About what not to do as it is about what
Oh, there you
to
go.
do.
I guess you didn't miss it. You just heard it twice in a row.
And now for a third straight difficult and long par 3 with the 12th, 405 feet, pretty much wide open to start. But as you can see, there's a lot of small trees and one fairly large tree in the way of getting to the basket. Most players are going to go with a high, flat backhand here. You don't really have room to swing a hyzer. There's a couple kind of constraining trees near the tee. You can see them on the right there. So Garrett does just that, a little bit lower than most, but he has enough power to get away with it.
Some help.
I feel like people are throwing the high stall to the right to kind of take those first couple trees out of play, but I also saw a few people just kind of going right at it and just trying to get kind of lucky through those because I don't think you can be that accurate in these types of winds.
Or not.
Great shot.
Nice shot.
Garrett was actually a little bit hesitant to throw the hyzer shot, so he backed off and went with the straight shot. As you can see, his shot got knocked down by the trees that are guarding the basket, and was surprised to see Kevin go for that shot, and he actually executed it very well. And
Everything's just carrying.
speaking of
good.
executing very well,
Thanks.
James Conrad, another wonderful shot.
Yeah, that hyzer line that Kevin took is that's
Massive.
a top 5%
Yeah.
power kind of play.
Very big.
Yeah, and I guess that's part of the
No,
problem
bad
is
angle,
not a lot of
dude.
people have the power to be able to do
Watch
that, so
it.
they have to kind of throw a low scooting shot that
Good
kind of
three.
gets a little bit lucky through that. And Jerm with the early
Favorable.
release there, just a bit.
Feeling
15's that
good.
weird one back down. Did you play it? It's a new hole kind of. Okay, it's like a big hyzer, but it'll be hard with the wind.
It's like a real cinematic kind of portrait of them walking up. That looked cool.
It kind of looked like they were on the
great
moon
play.
Thank
or
you.
something. Like it
Yeah.
almost did the color of the ground. It almost didn't look like. That's what the desert can do for you.
And the vibes in this card were great the whole way through. Very supportive group, and we had a lot of fun from hole 1 to hole 18, and it was a lot of good golf to see as well. So I mean, you can
Yeah,
just see
Kev.
that the camaraderie was. I always say that word weird. Camaraderie.
Yeah.
I always say camaraderie. Anyways, Kevin Jones, great putt for birdie.
Yeah.
That was an awesome set of birdies there for James and Kevin. Pars
Sit.
for the likes of myself and Garrett. That's one you're happy to get, even though it's just right there in front of you. It just like stares you in the face. It's downhill. Those trees don't really seem that menacing that are blocking the basket, but it still somehow feels good to get there and get that birdie.
Well, if there's any kind of wind, 400 feet is a long way to project a disc and get it to fade and finish where you want it to go. I mean, it's one thing to be able to do that in the calm. If you can, you're probably already pretty much ready to become a professional. And if you can do it in the wind, then come out on tour, because that's a difficult thing to do. Hole 13, par 3, just 249, but so much sand. And then if you go long, there's actually a path back there.
And look at this play.
Grenade?
And we have a left to right crosswind, and Kevin's trying to get tricky with it, but he ends up actually going long and out of bounds over the sidewalk. Yeah.
That's huge for a grenade. He has to go so upwards with that shot.
He went straight vertical out of his hand, and he still carried that 270-foot distance.
Pop up. Go in.
That play.
That is nice.
That's a nice skip just before the bunker. I mean, what a fantastic idea and execution.
I feel like that was the play. The ones that I saw that landed safe were hitting before the bunkers and then doing exactly that double little hop, and that almost went right in. Wow.
Yeah, I want to try that play. Ricky Wysocki did something like that on my card, intentionally hitting before the sand. I always just fly the sand, but then I have a 35-footer. I think I want to try that early skip play.
Just go in.
Yeah. In hindsight, just go in.
Oh, man.
The bunker.
Yeah.
I'd much rather do what you normally do and just juice it deep and just take the comebacker. And if it's too long, lay it up and tap your 3 in. No harm, no foul. But
Kevin goes into the hazard, so it's going to be a double bogey at best.
At best, yeah. And he's got kind of a tough putt.
Wow, good effort into a raging wind.
I mean, that's a bit ambitious from Kevin.
Yes.
45 feet with bunkers right behind and a raging wind, like.
Yeah,
that's the kind of player he is, though.
And nice putt from James.
Connecting with the slight head crosswind putt. Very nicely done.
I totally get going for it if it's for birdie, but when you've already given up a shot, I feel like we all know as professionals, it's like,
he's not conceding.
Okay, you got me, hole. You know,
he just doesn't have that in him. Then that's why when he's hot, he's tough to beat, and when he's not, it's because of things like that. He's just a bit off, and now he's paying a double penalty, and maybe more. No, not more. But you're right. I mean, that's a play you see a lot from players that are as talented as Kevin is at the age that he's at. That's something you just kind of learn from tour experience. Like, okay, maybe I should just count my chickens here, or
oops,
count my chickens.
Sure.
Yeah, you can count them all up. There happen to be 5 of them on that hole.
Yeah, let them hatch first. That's the advice you're going to want to listen to. Let those things hatch before you start counting them. Hole 14, par 3, going uphill, 405. This one has out of bounds on that left side. It's another one where there really isn't room to go full hyzer. It's more of a flat to stall. And so many holes in this distance range on this back 9.
I feel like this is a clone of the 3 holes prior.
Yeah.
Come on, man, throw a hyzer.
Same distance, same wind, same shot. Hyzer, skip it. Through all the stuff.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Oh, see,
Jeez,
as soon as I try to say there's no big hyzer.
Why would just why?
Oh, look out.
You're free up there.
I was
Sorry.
almost a broken ankle.
Break dancing. That was nice moving in from the camera guy.
We need to get somebody to do a little switchback GIF style there.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing. I mean, it's probably tough for Garrett to take enough off. I almost feel like he could probably go rock 3 if there wasn't much wind.
Beauty.
And just go straight at it. What a shot there. You're going Thunderbird? Nice.
And this is another example of Kevin saying, oh, Garrett, yeah, I've got that 500-foot hyzer juice.
That's the one right there, baby.
This looks
Skip
good.
This is really good.
Honestly, what?
And that's like a good way to regulate his power. Just throw it high, and I mean, now I'm not going to go 50 feet long.
Oh, hate that.
I know. It's so annoying.
Drop in there.
Oh,
Too.
great effort.
Good effort, G.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, look, there's something over there. If you guys missed that, I made that putt since you guys were looking off to the side.
Nice birdie.
Oh, I was looking.
Wow, you're closer than I thought. Nice birdie.
Yeah, Kev.
Nice birdie from Kevin as well.
Well deserved.
Do you ever have the feeling where you haven't missed a putt in the circle and you're like, not gonna do it today. I'm gonna make all my putts in the circle. Like that's what was going through my mind and not just like go through your normal routine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
It's an
hate it.
easy trap to fall into. Hole 15, par 3. This is a really lengthened hole. This was probably about 275 feet last year. Now 469 feet. As you can see, so many trees in the fairway. Out of bounds on the left side. And to top it all off, a 45-minute backup to wait in before you tee off.
Might have even been more. It was just a very long wait there with, yeah, like you said, 5 groups or so.
Yeah, no surprise that this was the most difficult hole on the course.
We got one to skip.
And it's a good shot from Kevin, but there really isn't that great of a entryway to the basket. And you throw that big hyzer, it's, you know, you're rewarded with a long look, but it's really difficult to get one close.
Yeah, one way for everybody to get one close is to do the flex line. Today, that option was very, very tricky because of the left to right cross one. People were going so far past, they were landing on the green 100, 200 feet past the basket.
Wow.
I like that. Garrett called that the inside straight draw. It's a good way to call this shot for
When you're in
especially
Vegas?
when you're in
I like that
Vegas,
one.
yeah.
Oh, that is so close to getting
wow.
it done.
Nice,
So
G.
that would be the way to get there, but
Oh, cool.
you still can't.
Headwind picked up.
As fantastic as that was.
Getting the hole.
snap.
That's halfway there.
I'm not doing that one.
It's halfway there. Roll.
You're a
That's
monster,
not
Jerm.
that's
heard
not a
metal.
very good spot though, is it?
No. But it seemed like a good way to keep one in bounds and get one up there, so that was good enough for me.
Yeah, just a scramble from there.
That might be like a perfect side round hole.
Oh!
This is gonna be perfect.
Sit down.
Jerm, he's like backhand. I'm like, what?
Damn, I thought you made it.
James with a little peek at the basket.
Oh.
Do it.
It was a very interesting flight. It just kind of was bouncing up and down there for a while, even from that short range with not much power behind the disc. It was just floating.
See, and that was my point earlier. If you have a tailwind right there and you make that big of a mistake, like you're 35 past the basket, and a headwind kind of just gets up there, floats to only 12 feet past, and he should be able to make that pretty easily.
Yeah, maybe easier to make the shot in a tailwind, but also easier to mess it up.
Right.
Yeah,
Big
Jerm.
time.
I'll take the
there.
tailwind all day. I mean, that's what that was there, and got a lot more confidence with that wind. But yeah, your mistakes are amplified because once you do miss it, you've got a headwind comeback.
Yeah, and if you're off left, off right, you hit the rim, it's more likely to roll
It's still
away.
going to push.
Absolutely, with all the speed.
Nice hit, Jerm.
Talk about a roll. James is putting together a nice little round here.
He sure
Yeah,
is.
he is.
Just one mistake there on the front 9, and
Yeah, Kev.
Yep.
And Kevin, even though he took that double bogey a few holes back, he's still managing a 5 under par. If he could get some coming down the stretch, that's a really good round.
And I really think these last 3 are some of the most gettable holes on this whole course. So I think these guys should be able to make a push coming down the stretch, especially here on the 16th. Par 4, only 583. Pretty generous landing zone. Watch out for that hazard bunker and the out-of-bounds green. But just stay up the middle. Play it short in this wind, most likely. But I guess there is a Kevin and a Garrett around, so you never know. And then chip across the green up into these trees to get a look for birdie.
that green really serves as kind of a straitjacket. It doesn't really give you the option to get too aggressive, especially in these conditions where we're teeing off into that 18-mile-an-hour northern facing headwind. So if we had a tailwind, I could definitely see Garrett getting aggressive here, but there's really not much you can do as far as getting creative.
Yeah.
I feel like that bunker's placed in a real nice spot as well. Like a power shot that you kind of just kind of tug on it a little bit to the right, will just filter right into there. And then I saw a lot of people also throwing and not respecting the wind, turning over and almost going OB over that path over there on the right.
I personally witnessed that. Both of those mistakes being made by cards in front of us and behind us. So yeah, that was definitely coming in play, especially with that headwind there. If somebody wanted to get aggressive, a backhand, certainly that sidewalk comes into play.
That far right.
And that bunker was in my mind right there with that shot. I knew that if I threw it hard enough, it comes into play. And so by just being there alone, I didn't even want to press it. So I kind of threw a pretty soft forehand with my wraith there, just to the right side.
You guys want to play some
At
tether ball?
583 feet, it also...
I was scared I was going to hit that thing. I was like throwing right over it.
I thought that pole in the middle of the fairway was a tether ball court.
I'll play you guys in some tethered ball.
I will whoop you. I'm 6'6".
At 583 feet, these shots are a little bit difficult because then again you have that kind of touchy shot coming in and you'd rather have a
Sweet,
full
good play.
shot.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's really the only thing that makes it tough. Otherwise, you should be able to make good from that distance 60, 70%, 80% of the time. 100% of the time. Sorry, I don't know. I was trying to sound cool.
Some percent. Like a big sounding percent of the time, for sure.
It sounded like a reference to a cologne in a news anchor movie. If you catch my drift.
Oh, nice little block by that tree.
Yep. Help Kevin stay within 12 feet of the basket.
I don't know. You put every single person from that lie, 70% of them get up and down, right?
30% of the time.
Good play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe up to 100.
You want to leave it back or not?
Garrett with another nice rock 3 approach. He's just so smooth with that disc. I just can't get over how pretty it is to watch him throw that.
Oh, James just barely low.
James saved my percentages.
Back to 75% of birdies on this hole,
Attaboy.
on this card.
Yeah.
And mind you, it was chilly out there as well. I mean, we see Jerm going with the short sleeves, but
That was just because I had a pretty shirt and I just couldn't not show it off. I mean, once you wear it, if it's underneath the jacket all day long, doesn't mean you get to wear it another day. You get one day to wear it that tournament.
I was cold warming up, and then it got a lot nicer, but then that 45-minute wait on the tee of the 15th really kind of put me in the cooler, and then I was feeling cold again. Hole 17, par 3, 345, blind tee shot. The basket is up under these trees, and it is a wild one. Take a look. This thing is chained to both the ground and the trees up above it. So it's really, really highly elevated, like higher, much higher than those baskets on the risers that the Disc Golf Pro Tour uses. Out of bounds on the left, though. Just got to get your height right. This looks like it's pushing a little bit quickly left, if I'm honest.
It needs to sit, and that ground is so catchy, but it just not enough dirt there, and that just slid over.
yeah, those
The sidewalk out of
those
bounds.
willows really make that green a bit smaller as well.
I like it.
Kind of, especially on that high rise, you would say that
Yeah, G.
that
Thank you.
basket
well thrown.
not only is in chains but in jail.
Stop it. That's good. That's good stuff.
Great shot by Garrett. Jerm,
Nice
a
Jerm.
bit long.
Yeah.
Kind of a scary putt.
Very scary putt. Those willows are definitely just tease me with their fingers just blowing towards my face.
Yeah, my bad, Rick. I was like seriously looking for the 10.
James with a nice
And he
sit
was
there with the
like,
willows.
"What, did you not see
Those
that?"
definitely
Jerry, I
helped
was
that
like, "Nah,
time.
actually
Look at
didn't."
it blowing around.
No, God, just airball it.
Bummer.
Yeah, it didn't go in, so, whatever.
Nice hit.
Good.
And a good par save from Kevin. Really short putts left here for Garrett and James.
Good hit.
James with a beautiful birdie. A little luck involved, but
Good result.
yeah, great result.
I did something on this hole I've never done before with my drive.
What's that?
I hit chain.
That's birdie, G.
You hit a chain. Yeah,
I hit a chain. I hit chain way below the cage, but I still hit chain.
that's cool. Did it stay close?
Well, I didn't birdie. I'll tell you that.
How many shots hit metal on this hole for you?
2.
So you ended up safety.
I hit cage and I hit chain.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That was
It's just so important for the growth of the sport of disc.
On to hole 18, par 3, 301 feet. This is an island green. Most common play is a forehand straight up the left side and falling to the basket, or a backhand high hyzer. I think the backhand has a pretty big bush in the way though, so you have to be careful that you don't come down too early because you're probably not making a putt from the backside of that.
What a beautiful hole, though. That fly over was gorgeous.
Here is that high hyzer. And that's
Nice.
that bush, but he's on the correct side of it.
I'll take green.
Nice little reaction off the bush there. If that pulls the disc in, I mean, he essentially has no putt at all. James liking that high spike hyzer line.
Yeah, you're essentially just rolling the dice with that hyzer, like you said. That bush is really in the way. The tree that he just hit, I feel like that's kind of a good break. I think this is the best play.
Go in. Oh, get down.
Watch it. James is about to say get in, and in the last second, that thing really
I
showed
was just holding
its
dead
low
straight
speed
at first.
fade.
I'm surprised he went so straight at the basket. I would think he'd swing it a little wider with the forehand.
Like this guy.
Like this guy.
Load up.
There you go,
Nice,
Jerm.
Jerm. Pretty.
Kevin unable to connect.
Not really
You're good.
pleased with
You're
his
good.
6 under effort on the day.
Garrett for double digits.
Yeah.
Nice round.
Very good round.
Solid putt to finish. Right on the stripe, inch above the rim. No doubt about it.
And good putting all day, really, from Garrett.
I was like,
Nice.
I let him go. Hopefully he nails it.
Couple 10-piece nuggets right there.
Yeah, to
Going
play
into the
against
final
Fox-
day.
Jamestown Jammers.
Jammers.
I think I just
Final
had a
day?
new
What am I
nickname for it.
talking?
I was wondering. They cut a couple days going into the second day of 4.
Yeah.
But a 10-piece nugget doesn't hurt you.
Nope.
5-piece though, that's gonna leave you hungry, isn't it, Jerm?
Oh, that's never satisfied me. And that's the final putt of the day for this card is we see
Oh, really? What's the score? Who's shooting?
Garrett Gurthie at 10, James Conrad at 10, the Jamestown Jammer as I call him. And here's a look at the final back 9 scores as Kevin Jones finishes at 6 under and me right behind them at 5 under.
Fire emoji Heimberg back at it again. 12 under despite a double bogey on the
Unreal.
first. I
Unreal.
played with Calvin and Paul Macbeth. Both were really on point most of the round. Great golf being played. Let's take a look at that Founders Club. This coverage not possible without the support of all of the people's names that you see here. They are always helping every month to keep this coverage coming.
Garrett Gurthie is going to jump up to lead card. James Conrad right there behind him just in lieu of the PDGA number. But we have got obviously incredible golf coming to you from the Innova course tomorrow. What a fantastic star-studded lineup we have on our lead card. Be sure to come back tomorrow to catch second round action at the Las Vegas Challenge.
I'll see you guys there.
We're out.